Ben Collins, what do you have to say for yourself? My face grimaced as Mr. Growler's bad breath blew directly into my nostrils as he shouted just inches from my nose. Of course, any normal child knows that the correct answer here is, "Sorry, sir, I promise I won't do it again." But never one to be lost for words, my brain was suddenly filled with a multitude of possible responses. Option 1. I'm a child genius who should be admired and encouraged. Option 2. You have mistaken me for my identical twin brother. Or option 3. You are looking a little on the chubby side today, Mr. Growler. May I suggest a salad for lunch? Luckily, the rational side of my brain kicked into gear before my mouth betrayed me. Perhaps now was not the time to be cheeky. I was sitting in the headmaster's office at school after my most epic fail to date. My secret school tuck shop had been discovered by the teachers. So here I was, squirming in my seat as Mr. Growler waited for an answer. As much as I wanted to respond with one of the 3 answers that had unwittingly popped into my head, I managed to bite my tongue. "I'm sorry, Mr. Growler," I muttered, looking at the ground. "You will be sorry, boy," shouted Mr. Growler, still inches from my nose. This time, not only did his bad breath cascade into my face, but he also splattered me with spit as he emphasised the word sorry. "Your days of selling sweets at my school are over, young man. For the next 2 months, your lunchtimes will be spent picking up litter. Plus, any profits you have made since you started this little business will be given to the school to buy more sports equipment." This was my worst nightmare. All of Tommy's and my hard work was being taken from us in an instant, all because of evil Emily. For 3 months, I had been running my secret school tuck shop in the school playground with my best friend Tommy. We started off just doing it a few times a week, but we had become victims of our own success. We got greedy. The more sweets and chocolate bars that we sold, the more we wanted to sell. For the past few weeks, we had been running it every single lunchtime. Now, there is only so long you can do that before you raise suspicion from the teachers. Even the ones who couldn't care less what was going on around them, as long as it didn't interrupt their cup of tea and gossip. Unfortunately for me and Tommy, the unobservant teacher who got the credit for rumbling our little business had a bit of help from Emily Evans, aka Evil Emily. Emily was my arch-enemy and had been ever since I had become close to her best friend Lottie Jones. Lottie. Long brown hair, big blue eyes, beautiful smile. Needless to say, the crush that I had developed on Lottie when I first started Summercroft School was now an even bigger crush. The only problem was that Lottie apparently didn't have a crush on me, not even a tiny bit. I had been well and truly friend-zoned. That was better than nothing for now though. I would just keep trying to work my charm on her until she realised that I wasn't just Ben, the boy she walked her dog with. I was Ben the brave, Ben the bold, Ben the boyfriend material. Okay, I know that sounded really cheesy, but you get the idea. Anyway, back to Emily. She did not like sharing her best friend Lottie one little bit. And she had no intention of sharing her with me. Every chance she got, she would try to make me look stupid in front of Lottie. There was the time she had stolen my pen from my pencil case and replaced it with a pink pen with a big pink fluffy bobble on the end. Now that looked really macho not, as I sat writing about the Romans with a pink fluff ball constantly tickling my nose. Then there was the time she told the whole school that I had a cuddly toy in my school bag in case I got upset and needed a comforter. Yes, I did have a soft toy elephant in my school bag one day, but it was not my comforter. Little Spud had put it there that morning when I left my bag in the hall at home. It's not my fault he loves to put his toys in random bags and then forgets about them. This time though, Emily had gone too far. In an attempt to impress Lottie at lunchtime, I had given her a free chocolate bar. We had sold so many others already that I figured giving just one away wouldn't matter. Lottie was chuffed to bits and flashed me one of her gorgeous smiles. Well, Emily's face was a picture. If looks could kill, I would not be here to tell the story now. And given that Emily had just paid 60p for a chocolate bar herself, she was even madder. And Emily being mad is what had resulted in me sitting in the headmaster's office right now, after she ran tattletelling to the teachers on the playground. Of course, continued Mr. Growler, snapping my wandering mind back, if you tell me who you were doing this with, I will reduce your litter picking duty to just 1 month. So, young man, who was it? That brother of yours, Pocket Rocket, as you all seem to call him? That Tommy you seem inseparable from? Or someone else? As much as I hated the idea of doing litter picking duty for 2 months, there was no way in the world I was going to drop Tommy in it. Luckily for him, it's just me that Emily has a problem with. So, not surprisingly, she blamed the whole thing on me, with no mention of anyone else. And that was the way it was going to stay. Tommy was my best friend, and I wouldn't let him down. Not even if Mr. Growler offered me £100. Friends are more important than money. Simple. There was no one else, Mr. Growler. It was just me, I mumbled as I accepted defeat. Well, 2 months of litter duty it is then, Ben, starting Monday. Come to my office 12 p.m. sharp and I will give you your litter picking equipment. Great, I thought. As if being punished like this wasn't enough, I was going to be forced to wear a big yellow jacket saying litter picker on the back, whilst walking around with a black bin bag and a plastic rubbish grabber. How on earth would I get out of the friend zone with Lottie looking like that? She probably wouldn't even want to be my friend now, let alone my girlfriend. And, continued Mr. Growler, you can forget about being part of the talent show at the end of the month, Mr. Collins. We certainly don't need to be seeing any more of your talents anytime soon. I couldn't believe it. Not only was I going to spend the next month picking up other people's rubbish, I was now going to miss out on the highlight of the school year. I was planning on being the star of the show as I impressed Lottie with my karate skills. I'd been planning my act for ages and couldn't wait to do it. Now I would just have to sit in the audience and watch everyone else in the limelight. Could my life get any worse? And that was the first chapter of It's a Kid's Life, Arch Enemies by me, Kerry Gibb.